Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, daily fail, meme review, software releases, and the websites by plebes. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, we're going to the numbers. Okay, so we are currently at a block height of 676,309. Current Bitcoin price, 52,540. Chain rewrite days, 596. Total lightning capacity, 1,154.88. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 8.76%. Sats per dollar, 1,903. Yeah.
Dude, man.
There is some serious action, man. If if anybody who's taking a look at those 30-minute charts, like there is some serious action going on, and it is there's some, I don't know.
Yes, I was telling that to a family member of mine this morning. I got 5 text messages this morning saying, "What's going on with Bitcoin?" Right, the usual one. And the first one that I responded to, I'm like, there is some black magic stuff going on in the background. A lot of people are speculating that it's institutions buying.
Yeah, I'm speculating institution buying.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I told my family member as well. So, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll cover it here on Simply Bitcoin. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Fail. All right, everyone. The Daily Fail. Eric Holthouse. Everybody knows this dude in Bitcoin Twitter at this point. Anyways, the person who apparently tells the weather for a living has decided that Bitcoin is evil and he's going to fix it. These are the libertarian nerds who are currently torching our planet's clean energy future for fun and profit. By any definition, they are some of the most violent people on Earth, putting vulnerable and marginalized people's lives at risk for their own wealth. And he's citing Nick Carter, the violence.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
This is pure evil. You can't trust Nick. You can't trust that he wrote a great article that this guy can't refute. Can't trust that. Anyways, look, this goes with our theme this week, all right? There was already 2 people before. This is very dangerous rhetoric, okay? This is complete, absolute garbage, okay? The articles, there's not just the article from Nick, but there was also an article shared by Robert Breedlove as well, really detailing out and debunking this energy garbage that they keep throwing in our faces, okay? And the language that they use is incredibly disingenuous and very dangerous, okay? Because what people don't realize is that it creates connections, right? Like that's what they do. And, they're telling you one thing, but you're thinking something else because of the very deceptive language that they're using. Anyways, he's a fuckbag and he's a fail.
Yeah, so
he's gonna have fun staying poor. Sorry, I gotta steal it from you, because you always say it. But yeah, no, I'm using it this time.
I love it because I'm gonna add the buzzer. And it's gonna be great. And what you saw, ladies and gentlemen, was as rare as a unicorn. You just saw an angry Canadian. Very strange. You don't see them out in the wilderness, so it's very rare. But yeah, I can't say it better than Phil. He stole all the thunder. Exactly right. That guy's rhetoric. You killed it. That guy's rhetoric is dangerous. And if you look throughout history, exactly what I said yesterday, people find scapegoats. Yep. Right? So when they start building this in your head, like, look, Bitcoin destroys the environment.
We're violent people.
This is
really,
it's all lies. And I like to point out, we are apolitical on this show. However, he says that he's a communist in his bio, and you know what? F communism. Simply Bitcoin's not about communism because Bitcoin it's not communist, right? So yeah, man. But other than that, damn, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I know.
No, it's bad.
It's a total fail, man. Like, he's a total fucking fail, this guy. He's such a, like, this is like the second or third time he has the worst takes. And he, again,
man,
these people, man, it's unbelievable.
He's a communist, man. This is communist tactics, right? It's like misinformation and all this BS, anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Meme Review. Okay, but you have to explain, this is not my meme. I may have posted it, but this is not my work, okay?
Okay, you got it.
Sorry.
All right, everybody. I just want to let you know that Phil created this meme 100%.
You're fucking terrible. I did not. This is not my work.
I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Not
kidding.
my work.
Okay.
I saved it and I've kept it for a really long time and I posted it recently.
All right.
This is not my work, so shout out to the original person who put this together. And if they're watching, shout out to you and let us know who you are so we can retweet your stuff.
Oh my God. Do you want to keep that or rerun it?
No, that's perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Anyways, guys, here's the meme for today. Check this out. It's not by Phil, but it is by someone else. Shout out to that person. If this is your meme, claim credit, just shout it out on Twitter or something. Anyways, finance, governments, banks, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is popping the bubble. What if Bitcoin isn't the bubble? It's the pin. Super deep drop mic moment from Phil because he created it. Just kidding. He didn't create it. I just want to say it because it makes him angry. But because it was Phil's meme, I'm going to give it an Xbox controller. What about you, Phil?
An Xbox controller. Well, considering this is my original work from my mind, no. Okay, because I would not be smart enough to think of that. I would only be smart enough to retweet it or to save it. Anyways, okay, with this, I am going with a pencil.
Oh,
that's right, an HB pencil. Remember those? All the old people will remember those. They'll be like, "Oh my God, that's right. We always had to have 2 of them for the exams." People need that.
I'm old enough to remember that. So
need that? I don't even know.
But incredible meme, great scores, pencil, and Xbox controller. Anyways, Phil, it's time for it.
The Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. A notable tweet brought to us by literally one of the most epic Bitcoin accounts at Documenting Bitcoin. Bitcoin hash rate hits an all-time high today of 162 exahashes. Remember what I told you guys?
Damn.
Remember what I told you guys is that the price usually follows what? So it's a little hint anyway, a little hint there. But anyways, moving on to some actual signal, right? No, not actual signal, not noise. This was kind of a big deal. Representative Bill Foster said this. I'll save you guys the 54 seconds if you guys want to see it. I'll drop the link down the description. But to quote him, I believe that both of you are on the record as acknowledging that anonymous, untraceable digital dollar is not a viable option for our country or the free world. Is that principally correct? And of course, he was actually talking to Powell and he was talking to Yellen, right? This was like a big ass, this was a big meeting. And
big ass meeting.
This Miami and me just comes out. A big meeting, big meeting. And, dude, it's so crazy, because we say this is what they think. But when you actually have one admitting exactly their vision of what they want the world to look like, it's crazy because he's openly admitting Bitcoin can't be a thing, right? Because that's literally what it means, right? So Phil, what are your thoughts on this crazy representative?
So look, there's going to be, there's already 3 institutions this week that filed for ETF. So this representative, he can say whatever the hell he wants. Okay. At the end of the day, there's going to be, the institutions that are going to join Bitcoin early. They are going to grasp onto the ecosystem. They're going to help it grow. And there's going to be the people that continually fight against it. But the reality is that the country can do whatever it wants. Okay. The country can, every country can sit there and create their own currencies and whatever they want. But what they're coming to realize slowly and painfully is that they can't control or stop Bitcoin.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add to those amazing points, Phil. They can't stop Bitcoin. They're realizing this, right? And if they try to stop Bitcoin, it just becomes an opportunity for another country, right?
That's right.
And it's
their
just
competition.
Their competition. It's absolutely amazing, right? But it doesn't mean they're not going to try. And this is exactly what you saw in Morocco. But it's funny because exactly what you said. If you allowed the people to choose, right? If you didn't ban it, right? If you allowed the people to choose, if you allowed the citizens to choose, they actually want Bitcoin. They want to get rid of of their fiat currency, right? You don't only see this in Morocco, you see this in Venezuela, you see this in Nigeria, right? We played you guys a video the other day on another video, essentially showing a Nigerian senator saying how Bitcoin is essentially making their fiat currency worthless. And that's exactly because the people are choosing the harder, stronger money, right? And that is Bitcoin, the better money, right? But anyways, before I get your thoughts, Phil, back to this idea of governments, right? This judicial arbitrage, or the better flag theory, right? Bitcoin and Bitcoiners are going to move to the country that treats them best, right? And that's exactly what you're seeing, right? So the government of Morocco is going to have fun staying poor. It looks, according to Ross Stevens, right? This is the guy that Michael Saylor brought on for the Bitcoin for Institutions conference. He was the guy that did the principal pitch, right? And man, look, again, this is back to the same thing that he's been saying about the wall of money. Governments are already looking to buy Bitcoin, right? So I think he's talking about sovereign wealth funds, like you see the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia and the Norwegian sovereign wealth fund as well, right? The oil-rich nations, right, have a couple of those. And I suspect, Phil, again, I'm not an analyst or anything, those are going to be the first countries that are going to expose themselves to Bitcoin, right? Because they have those sovereign wealth funds. But perhaps you think differently. What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, the whole time that you're reading through these articles, I'm thinking just one thing. What is so wrong about people being able to actually store their value in something that the government, can't seize or control? Like, why is this so bad? Like, why is the average person not allowed not to be a slave? Like, I don't get it. It's just the strangest thing to me, that like a fellow human being would do this to their fellow human being. It's completely psychotic.
It's only strange because we're in Bitcoin.
No, before I was in Bitcoin, I thought like this.
Yeah, but we didn't have the tools to fight it.
No, we didn't. We had very poor tools to fight it. We were, we were the guys showing up to a gunfight with a knife. That was the problem.
Dude, and now we have, and exactly, that was the problem. But now we have the tools, man. We have the tools, and that has emboldened us to essentially fight the fight. Of course, we're not talking about a kinetic fight. We're talking about an information fight on Twitter, on YouTube, right? Trying to tell people the truth. And dude, Jack Dorsey on this Congress hearing today, right? He, this is him, testifying. Oh, but God. Listen, this is extremely powerful, right? There's a Blockclock in the image, right? So remember, this is completely on purpose. If you think otherwise, you're joking yourself. Okay, there's nothing else here, but just coincidentally on the bottom there's a Blockclock. Okay, so I see that symbolically as a big middle finger, right, showing the Congress people their dollar losing value to Bitcoin in real time. That's extremely powerful. That's how I interpreted it, right? But perhaps I'm reading way too much into it because I do this way too much. I don't know, Phil. Calm me down. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so in that particular picture, though, it looks like it was showing the block height.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if somebody saw this other tweet, but this guy tweeted this thing about the block clock, pretending that it was really the time in Moscow, trying to figure out where Jack Dorsey was, and essentially stating that Jack Dorsey was in Moscow. And he came up with this whole theory about it, which I don't entirely buy. But anyways, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on this tangent about that, but that's what that made me think of. But look, he's not a dumb guy. I feel like these people do things with intention, or I'd like to believe that they do it with intention.
It was totally 1000% intentional, and it was a big middle finger, and you can't do anything about it because it's Bitcoin.
Yep.
Right. So it's so powerful, man. So powerful. But I just want to end the news segment, Phil, with this powerful tweet, because this powerful tweet by the CEO of Kraken, right? Just to read it, after 10 years in crypto, he really means Bitcoin because that's essentially where he got his wealth from, right? But says crypto because he owns a shitcoin exchange, Kraken.
Yeah, of course.
Anyways, after 10 years in
inclusive.
Exactly. After, oh my God.
Sorry.
After 10 years, no, I love it. It's so funny. After 10 years in crypto, for the first time, it feels like we are entering the early stages of mainstream adoption. This is going back to the point that you said earlier, Phil. Am I relieved? No. I am fearful because it marks the end of our ability to be ignored. Get ready to fight. Right? And this goes back to the idea, Phil, of like, why are these people deciding what money I can and what money I cannot use? Like, why are they deciding that for me? Why can't I make that decision myself? Right? So, and they know that. And if this is the CEO of Kraken, he must know things that we don't know. So, man, and he's been here a lot longer than us, Phil, right? So, man, I'm excited, but also this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, this is what we've been saying, I think, from the beginning of our podcast, right? We are entering the then they fight you stage. And of course, I don't really like a lot of what Jesse Powell has to say, to be honest. And I hate that they use that stupid inclusive language just not to piss off the people buying the shit coins on their exchange. Yeah, because he really did make his money off of Bitcoin. So, look, this isn't, he's right. Because we're going mainstream, more people are going to be having their eyes on Bitcoin. And unfortunately, so this is the double-edged sword of transparency. Everyone can look at Bitcoin. That's a good thing. But everyone can look at Bitcoin. That's a bad thing. Because you've got asshats like Eric Halthouse who sit there, and because you can actually calculate the energy that Bitcoin uses, they actually try to use that information against us, when really they should be realizing exactly how beneficial it is to have a proper money for the world. And maybe they should be turning their eyes to be looking at the garbage institutions and the governments that are funneling billions of dollars into fossil fuels, right? That actually, quote unquote, are destroying the planet. So it's, again, right? Because Bitcoin is transparent, it's good, but because Bitcoin is transparent, it's bad. So yeah, we are in the then they fight you stage, and unfortunately, it's going to get uglier before it gets better, but we do win in the end because you can't stop Bitcoin, and they don't understand that yet.
The internet has never lost. The internet is undefeated. The internet conquers all, right? And the Bitcoin and the internet are synonymous. They're
Bitcoin's the money. What is it? The internet of money.
The internet of money.
Andrea,
right? It's like synonymous, man. It's like the internet and Bitcoin go hand in hand. That's why it's so seamless to use Bitcoin on the internet. It's the currency for the internet, unlike fiat. But anyways, Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. Yep, looks like we've got Blue Wallet version 6.0.7 that was released, and the details to that are down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was our show. That was you guys see it on Friday. So that was Friday's episode. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to smash that like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And of course, if you love the show, if you want to hear the news from the Bitcoiners' perspective, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.